Okay, guys, we're back, and um, we're just kind of looking at the plugins I've gotten installed. You can see I basically only have plugins I'm using here, so I'm just going to say this really quick, take it for what it's worth. There's a million different plugins you can have. My advice to you is just the ones that you're using are the ones that you should have installed, because what happens over time is every week or month, basically, there's going to be updates, code updates to these plugins, and so you're going to get a little message over here that says, oh, this plugin needs to be updated. And all you have to do is click a button to update it, but essentially what's happening, even if you've got these plugins you're not using, is over time, they need to be updated and kept up and stuff, because if they're not, they present sort of a security risk to your website. And so, not a huge deal, but I like to just sort of keep my plugins nice and sort of tidy, if you will, and not have a bunch of stuff in here that I'm not using. So you can always go back and re-download it if you've got something that you're not using now but you might need later. Okay, let's get into the next and more exciting stuff here, which is the appearance. So basically, what we're in the plugins right now, we're going to go to appearance and we want to go to themes. So let's click on that. And right now, you're going to recognize that what's active right now is this theme called 2014. And that's what's basically given us the look that we see on our website. So we've got a couple of other options here, and all you have to do, these are a lot like plugins that I showed you before. All you have to do is activate one to make it the new theme for your site. So let's just do that really quick. What I'm going to do here is just, let's look at the site as it is right now. Okay, the black, the white, the gray. Now I'm going to go back over here. Hopefully I'm not doing this too quickly. All I've done is open another tab where I can basically look at my site. And now I'm going to go back. I'm in here in the appearance. You can kind of do this stuff on the fly, right? I'm just going to activate this 2013 theme. Okay, so that's going to take a minute. It's going to make some changes. You'll see 2014 moves over here, and it's no longer active. You can only have one theme active at a time. So now let's go over here, touch on our tab that has our website on it. I'm just going to refresh the page, and now you can see I've got a whole different look, right? So that's kind of the magic of themes, and this is what's beautiful about WordPress, is that, geez, back when I started making websites in the early 2000s, it was like, if you wanted something like this, you pretty much had to like do these images and use a bunch of code and style sheets and all of that on your own, and kind of make this all happen by hand in the background. And nowadays you can just basically click, get a different theme, and have a totally different look on your site. So let's go ahead and go back over here to our themes. And what we're going to do is add a new theme. So this is just like what we did with plugins. We just click the Add New button up here. And right away, just like plugins, we're going to land on the featured page. You've got a couple of links here. And you can search way over here. Right, so I don't know what to tell you to search for. My advice is just start looking through these. These are all pretty much free, and they'll tell you if they're not, but the vast majority are free. So let's go into popular, and I've got one that I've sort of decided on using here just for our example. Okay, so at the top you see already installed, so I've got a couple of themes already. I'm just going to scroll down here, and there's one called responsive over here, and I like this one okay. First and foremost, this thing, let's just go ahead and install it. Let's go ahead and activate this. So go through those themes, kind of find one that you think looks interesting. You don't have to click install right away. You can just click on the image for the theme. Let's go back in just a second and do that once this finishes loading up here. And okay, so perfect. Okay, so it says activated successfully. Now we can go over here to our site, refresh again. I'm using Google Chrome, by the way, as my internet browser. So if you're using Internet Explorer or Firefox or something like that, just look for the refresh button. Okay, so now, look, I've got a completely different look here, and I like this one. So nice, clean, pretty good. We've got a navigation menu up here, which I'll be able to use, and basically I'll be able to replace all this stuff with my own image and text here, and we'll do that as we go. Then we've got these widgets, and these are cool because, let's say you're going to offer a couple different services. You can basically, I'll be showing you in another video how we can just change these to be, maybe you do web design, and over here you do copywriting, and over here you do content marketing. So, this is a nice sort of business freelancer type theme, and so are many of the others that you had to choose from. So let's go back into the themes, and I know I kind of speed through some of this stuff. It might be too fast for you, and the thing that's great about making these into videos is that you can always watch it again, or you can pause it and just kind of look at the screen and sort of see what you want to see. So don't feel like you only get one chance to listen to this. Feel free to go through it a couple of times if you need to. One thing I wanted to show you, let's go back here to add new. You can add several of these too, right? So, if we wanted to sort of test out this Simone theme, what I'm going to do here is I wanted to show you, I just went straight to the install before, but I just want to show you, if we click right in the middle of one of those themes, we can just sort of see a demo of it here. And this is not our site, but we just get a chance to see what this looks like. I don't really like this, but what I wanted to point out is right over here is a bunch of text. And right now, what I want you guys to look for when you're choosing one of these themes is that your website theme is responsive. And all that means is that basically, whenever somebody's looking at this thing on a computer, it's going to look like this. When they look at it on a tablet, does it adjust? Does it still look good? And then, if we get way small, like on a phone, how does it look then? And you can see that it just responds. None of the stuff flows off the screen so that you can't read it or stuff like that. So that's really what you want. Since everybody seems to be using tablets and phones to do their internet browsing around the world these days, you want a responsive theme. So whatever you choose, just kind of read these descriptions and make sure you find one that mentions that it works on all the different types of devices. So there is all of that information. I'm going to just X out of there, and that takes me back to all the different themes that we are looking at. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the themes that I've already got, and I'm just going to do that by clicking on themes here on the left side. Okay, and what I can do now is customize this. So there's actually even a whole menu up here. Some themes do this and some don't. So your experience, if you choose something else, may look a little different, but they all give you the ability to make some tweaks, like to the colors and stuff like that. So I just wanted to point that out to you. I'm going to click on theme options here. Let's just see what's available. Okay, good. There's help and instructions, and it looks like we just sort of open these up. We can show breadcrumbs. We can disable that call to action button, this blue button right here. We can mess around with the title text. We'll kind of get into what some of these things mean later on. Oh, good. We can upload a logo. That's good. Homepage. Okay. Excellent. So this is where we'll be able to sort of specify what we want as our home page. And I'm going to get into that more in a different video. Default layouts. We'll get into that in a different one. So, okay, we've got some good stuff here. This theme's actually pretty fancy. So, you know, good enough. We don't really need to spend a whole lot of time in here. You know, the main thing is I kind of like the look as it is. So I'm probably just going to get to work on creating pages and posts and replacing all this text so that it becomes my own site. So thanks for joining me, and let's get together in the next video.